This is becoming a regular habit. Car videos. But anyway, it is January 1st. And so with that brings a wrap up of what I read in December. And yeah, I really tried not to start any new books. I do have my Goodreads thing right here. I have two books I can share with you. I have audiobooks that I listen to, and let me see, what else did I finish? Okay, yes. There is also another video that I did earlier this month with like all these Christmas books in there. I will leave it linked above and below for you. The only one that I finished with that is The Ghost of New Cheltenham. The Ghost of New Cheltenham. And that's by Chautona Havig. And I can't find my copy. I'm kind of nervous that with Nutcracker Week that I left it somewhere. I'm really hoping not. Okay, so there's that video you can go check. Now let's kind of get to the books that I read this month. And I think they are all... Mr. Dickens's Carol was really, really good, y'all. Okay, alright, so the next one that I have written down is an audiobook, and it's written by one of the authors that did the Guernsey Literary and Potato Pale Pie Society. This one is The Truth According to Us. The first half of the book I really, really liked, and I would say that I liked it pretty much up until the last few chapters to where I was just done with this book. It really felt soap opera-y near the ending, and to be honest, I didn't even finish it. I was pretty much done at that point. It was an audiobook that I was listening to on my mom's Amazon account, her Audible, and I just quit. The language was getting worse. There was such a love triangle type thing. I think it's called a love triangle-ish, sort of, going on, and I really hoped that it wasn't going to turn out the way it did, and it did. So, I was just really disappointed in that one. So, like I said, the first half I really, really enjoyed. It kind of had a little bit of a Guernsey feel to it because there's some letters going back or telegram letters going back and forth, but there was more story substance than the Guernsey. So you got more story, not so much just letters back and forth. Alright, so that one was kind of a bust for me. Let's see. So that was Truth According to Us. It says I read A Man Called Ave. I didn't. I just wrote the review. Let's see. According to this, the next one that I finished probably is the one that took me the most time this month, and that is Jane Austen's Mansfield Park. I'm just going to give you a quick thing about this right now because I have another plan for this book, and I don't want to put too much into this video with it. But basically, this was one of the final books for my Read the Classics challenge, and Mansfield Park is my absolute favorite, or I should say, the character Fanny. I should do it this way. The character Fanny is my absolute favorite, and it was really difficult to kind of read this again with adult eyes rather than my teenage eyes. It was a little disappointing, but in the end, I still stand by that Fanny is my favorite character. And so that's all I'm going to say about this, but stay tuned. I have something else planned for this. And now I can give that to my friend who's been begging to borrow Jane Austen. Alright, another one that I finished. I want to make sure I have it written on here, but I have it on here. Another one I finished, and this is the last one for the year, so very short video, but again, I made a complete review list. You can see it linked above and below of all the Christmas books that I started this month out. And then pretty much we just got Christmas and all this kind of stuff going on in the audiobook. I mean, there's not a whole lot to share pretty much at this point. But I ended up finishing The Chimes by, or reading and finishing The Chimes by Charles Dickens. And I kind of used this as a cheat for one word title challenge for my Read the Classic challenge, but the is not allowed, which is kind of unfortunate. The Chimes was okay. After the publication of A Christmas Carol the following year, Charles Dickens wrote The Chimes as a New Year ghost story. And you're following Trotty, and I should have remembered that because he kind of skips and jumps and hem-haws along. So you're following Trotty, who's been kind of down on his luck. You have Meg, his daughter, and they're just a very poor couple. Trotty, basically is encouraged always by these church bells that chime, and they just are giving him messages of encouragement. But one day when he is delivering a message to kind of a justice, and there's like a wealthy man there, they kind of start putting, I don't know how you would call it, but they basically just start saying that being poor makes you a bad person. And, you know, how dare you ring in the new year, you know, with anything like debt and things like that. And they're not very nice men. One kind of basically just wants to eradicate all the poor, and the other one just has the appearance of being a nice person, but he's not really. I'm trying to think. It's in Little Dorrit, where you've got the nice landlord and the person that collects the money. You kind of have a similar thing going on here. But anyway, so Trotty basically starts hearing chimes, not encouraging, but reminding him basically that time is passing, time is fleeting, and he's a bad person, and things like that. And then he goes into the tower, and basically the chimes become a ghost, and they kind of show him the future. And so it's a little Christmas Carol in that aspect. And so then at the end Trotty kind of regains his life and makes it better for himself. I hope I did that justice. It's Dickens, and so sometimes the writing style is a little bit difficult for me to get into, but I feel like I've spent half of this video just talking about the chimes. And that is pretty much it. I have a couple of children's books that I'm still working through. I ended up just kind of passing one along. I thought it would be a really good book, and I think it will be, but I got to the point where I was halfway through it, and oh gosh, I can't even remember the title, but I was halfway through it, and then this young girl, her grandma just died, or no, it's just before her grandma died. One of her best friends basically kisses her, and now I was just like, you know what, I don't want this on my shelf. I don't need this conversation right now. So I put it aside. I figured in a few years it'll be fine. But I mean, it had a really interesting story going on with it, and I was really hoping it would be something more, I guess is what you could say, because both of this girl's parents are mentally challenged. Do we say mentally challenged now? I don't know what we're supposed to say. Because they're always just a person to me. They're just, this is so-and-so. John, put it up in, no. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. Baby Kinder's gonna start crossing streets here. Anyway, but it was kind of like her struggles with trying to, basically she's raising her parents, and that's difficult, and her grandma's there, and she still wants to be a kid. Like, the idea of the story sounded really, really good, but her grandma died, and this boy did something, and I was just like, it's time to move on. So right now I'm reading Leon Garfield's John Diamond, and I'm not sure how I feel about this book right now. So if you've read it before, leave it in the comment section down below. What were your thoughts? So, it is a new year, and I don't think by the time you see this, a video I have planned will be up yet, but January I have some pretty specific reading goals that I want to accomplish, and I can't wait to share with you all of that at the end of this month. So, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a cup of coffee, on the go, and read another chapter. I'll see you next time. Bye.